What's up, y'all? Dylon here, and today is day 28 of 100 squats a day for 30 days. Like this video, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get rolling. Man, it was a day. It was a long day today. A lot of work, a lot of good, productive work, getting things done. And excited. I'm excited it's day 28. It's getting, it's actually getting easier to squat down like this when I start these videos. Because I am squatting, even though I don't count this as a squat. It's getting easier doing that. But for day 28, I'm going to do some bodyweight squats today. I got a little more work to get done. It's just one of those days, but gotta get the reps in. Like I've been telling you, like I've been sharing. One thing I do want to share with you that I think is really fascinating. So I'm going to come over here. This doesn't have to do with squats directly, but it's kind of related. So I have this, and I may have showed this before. This is just a little grip trainer thing I bought years ago. And I just kind of use it, just have it at my desk when I'm thinking, just going like that. And most times in your life, you don't really get a comparison of like how it feels to be stronger, right? And weaker at the same time. Generally you're just like the strength that you are. And you only really get to experience that if you have an injury. But then you have an injury, like you pull a hamstring or you tweak something, and you can't use it quite as much. But you can't really feel the difference, okay? Because obviously one side doesn't feel normal. And then really, when you're comparing it to someone else, you can see things and make excuses when you look at someone else. You're like, well, they're different than me, different genetics, different body, all that kind of stuff. Well, because I broke my arm, obviously, I injured it, but it feels normal now for the most part, right? It feels like a normal part of my body. And this grip strength trainer, I can kind of see, there's a little bit of difference, but I'm right hand dominant. And so my right side is my dominant side. So it's always a little bit stronger and bigger than my left side. In fact, I kind of wish that I broke my right arm instead of my left arm so that I could have trained with my left arm in ways that I really don't do because I'm right hand dominant. I'm weird like that. But anyways, when I squeeze this, right, I just crush it. It doesn't really put up any sort of resistance. I can just boom, right? And it's changed some now, but with this hand, I can still crush it. There was a few weeks back where I couldn't, but as I'm doing it, the feeling that I get in my hand, I know I got work to do and all that kind of stuff. I know I broke my arm, but it just feels weak. And what it shows me is this is a version of myself that I could be if I didn't do the things, the challenges, the workouts that I do, right? I could be like this normally, where it just feels like, okay, let me try to describe this. I squeeze this and it just crushes. There's no resistance. There's not a doubt in my mind. There's the resistance is futile of this little grip training device, right? My right hand, my normal healthy hand, just no big deal, right? It's down. I don't know if you can see this with the video. But my left hand, I can still do it, but there's some fight. This thing is resisting me, right? It is creating resistance and me imposing my will upon it. And this could be my normal state. But instead, this is my normal state, where I can exert my will physically because I keep myself strong and healthy and I train and and this applies to all areas of your life. When you train, when you learn, when you grow, right? When you aim to be the best version of yourself that you can be, right? You become this, where you can crush it, right? Where you can impose your will upon the world or upon the areas that you want to because you've done the work, right? But you have to train, you have to do things. Otherwise, you'll end up like this. A weakened version of yourself that faces more resistance in your life and whatever you do when in the challenges you take on, or maybe you won't even take on the challenges because the thought of taking on a challenge, is so overpowering to you that you don't think you can do it, or it's just so much more work. But and for me, I want to be like this, strong and powerful versus this and just weaker, facing resistance. And so for you, when you're watching this, right, it doesn't matter where you're at, right? Because even this right here, the strong and powerful version, is still weak by comparison to what I could be. Because I'm not saying that I'm think I'm inadequate as I am, but because you can always improve, you can always learn, you can always refine what you're doing, you can always pursue the better version of yourself. You're never going to get there, right? It's always a pursuit, and it's a pursuit you can do continuously. But if you give up, if you stop doing that, if you stop trying to channel and go after the higher version of yourself, right? You're going to end up just weaker, with more resistance, with more friction, with more pushback in your life in all areas. And so these challenges, they're fitness challenges, but they're also just like lifestyle. They're also like for your personal growth. And it doesn't matter like, if you get any awards, it doesn't matter if you get any likes or follows or anything like that. What really matters is that you're doing it for yourself. That the version of yourself when you complete one of these challenges that you just make up on the spot, right? Or you get inspired by watching something. When you complete one of these challenges, right? That version of yourself maybe went from this, even if you're freaking amazing and strong right now, right? But still, and like this, and you can feel the difference, right? And it's tough to really describe in words. It's more something you have to feel yourself. The difference from when you first started doing squats, you could barely do it. Maybe you could just barely do your body weight, to where now you can put up double your body weight, or you can put up one more plate than you used to be able to put up, right? Or you can run. When you first started trying to jog and run a mile, you could barely finish it, but now you can finish it, right? And you can do 2 miles or 3 miles, right? You can feel the change in your life, and you can feel the change in your attitude, your mindset, and what you're capable of. And that change, like when you really get down to it and you really start making a habit of doing those things, right? It's intoxicating. And my belief is that once you start doing that and you really get it, you don't want to go back. But you got to start doing it. And of course, it's going to suck at first. And it may suck the whole time you're doing it, right? There may never be a time where it doesn't suck a little bit. But just know, if you stop doing it, you're going to revert back to a weaker state, right? Less competent state with more resistance. You'll revert back to this, right? I want you to be like my right hand, strong and powerful, not like my left hand, which is weak. But in comparison to themselves, right? Let's give my left hand some credit, right? It was broken and it's working its way back, right? So it doesn't matter where you're at. All that matters is that you're working to be a better version. And my left arm, right, is working to be a better version of itself, to get back to its former glory, to compete with my right arm, right? Maybe so that's stronger than my right arm. But with that, we're gonna do 25 just bodyweight squats. We're gonna get the reps in, and then I'm gonna do 75 more bodyweight squats off camera, but let's get these done. Did 30. Just a few extra reps for that. I'm going to be doing the other ones off camera. I think my GoPro battery's about to die. But anyways, thanks for joining me for day 28. And just remember, like, try to be the strongest version of yourself. If you're weak, if you feel weak or incompetent now, you don't have to stay that way, right? If you feel strong and competent, well, you can get even stronger and more competent. You just got to do the work, challenge yourself, push yourself, and I think you'll like the version of yourself that you become when you do that. So that's it for day 28. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.